Okay, so I'm going to show you guys now a second different way to do the double exposures. This one is kind of like in the examples when you would see mostly a face and the other information is shining through that face. It's not really in the background as much. It's just kind of confined to like the face and hair and body of the model. So I've got Sarah again, and I've got a nice pretty picture of fall leaves that I borrowed from the internet. And similar to the last one that we did, what I want to do is Command A on my leaf picture or my background picture, whatever's not the model. Command C to copy. Click on the model, Command V, and they're together. And just like last time, I'm going to make a copy of the background. This time, just for now, so I can see what I'm doing, I'm going to kind of sandwich the background image in between my model images, just because it's easier. We don't need this guy, so I'm going to minimize him. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is on your model layer, make sure that's highlighted. You're going to go to Image, Adjustments, Black and White. We want them to be black and white because the technique we're going to use, the leaves are only going to show through on the dark spaces. So once it's black and white, we can't just leave it kind of gray like this. You can mess around with the different reds and yellows and greens and all that good stuff in the black and white mode. So just play around a little bit, see if she's much more clear now. But in addition to that, I'm also going to go into brightness contrast. I'm going to bring the contrast way up, and I'm also going to bring the brightness up. Now you want to be careful because we don't want the whole image to be blown out, because like I said, the leaves are going to appear in the darker spaces. So something like this might work pretty nicely. And you can dodge and burn. Maybe I'll burn a little bit in her face, gave her some more cheekbones, a little bit more nose there. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the paintbrush over here, and I'm going to make sure I have my white selected in the front, and I'm going to white out any background information. So now it really just looks like I have her and her hair selected, or visible rather, not selected. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the leaves, and I want to put them in front, right, so we don't see Sarah anymore. Now that that's highlighted, I can change the color and brightness and all that stuff, but I don't want to do that yet because what I want to do is go right up in here where it says normal and just switch it to screen. And it's already started, right? It looks pretty good now. I want to flip her over just because I want to see more of these leaves. Right now a lot of them are in the white. So I go back to her layer. I go to Edit, Transform. I want to flip her horizontally, and you can flip her upside down, left to right, whatever you want. I think this works out nicely. And just like the other image, I'm on her, so let's say I want her to be more contrasty. Maybe I want to see her eyes a little bit more. I can do that in here. I can bring down the brightness a little bit. You don't want to go too much because then it kind of ruins the effect. But maybe like right here is really nice. I like how her eye is right on that leaf right there. It looks cool. And I can also go into my leaf layer and mess with that brightness and contrast. I can mess with those colors a little bit if I want to give it a different feel. But I think that actually looks kind of cool. And that's how you would get the double exposure in just the model's body, which can be really neat. I actually just noticed it looks like this stuff is coming out of her mouth, but it's actually pretty cool. So this is another option that I want you to try, and you will be required to do for your final project. Okay? All right, so give that a try. Oh, and then of course at the end, you got to make sure your image size and all that is correct. Remember, we do 300. The longest dimension, here's my width, should be 10. This should be around a bit better. And then I can crop it and make size changes as necessary. And then you make sure that you save it. And when you save, you want to save it in JPEG format. It's a smaller file. Photoshop format's really big and it takes up a lot of space on your thumb drive. And that's it.